All right, folks, today we're going to be taking a look at this 2022 Hyundai Elantra SEL and this 2023 Inline. And the reason I want to look at these is because I think we're at a point of no return with Hyundai Kia. And by that, I mean that a lot of people are choosing them over Honda and Toyota just because of the styling. Things are fresh and they're not as expensive. And so you get a lot of value. Now, as I've said in a previous video or previous videos, I don't know about the long term as far as having these vehicles, 6+ years. I still don't think the interiors hold up as well, but I do think they look better than Honda and Toyotas in some instances. And these are not bad looking vehicles. I think these both look good. I do prefer this Inline as far as the design goes. It looks more in line with the Elantra, and I feel like it looks more like a small sedan versus this one without the black trim. And normally I'm not as much a fan of the black trim in the front, but it is what it is. So we'll start with this one. Again, this is a 2022. The wheels on it are 16s. I'm not as much a fan of those. They don't look bad, but I think it kind of depends on personal preference, honestly, because with these vehicles, they are kind of edgy, and I've heard people say they do look a little bit like Transformers. I mean, they do look very modern. However, that can be a double-edged sword because sometimes they don't age as well. But looking back here in the trunk, I mean, you have a pretty decent-sized trunk back here. I love that you have this textured lip here. The lift over is a little bit much. The opening's not as tall, but you have split folding seats. And I mean, that's a good amount of room. And this is a compact vehicle. So looking at the back here, you do not have exposed exhaust on this one. You have a little pipe there. But on this one, you have the dual exhaust on one side. And again, I do like the back of this one a little bit better. Some may say this looks a little bit more boy racer, but same thing with this trunk, split folding. The opening is a little small. The bumper does sit up a little bit, but I like the use of these reflectors in the back. And I feel like these vehicles, they look a little bit larger than they did in the past. Like before, they looked like small computer mouse type vehicles. But I think now they've matured up a little bit. We will start in the back seat here. I like this trim here. Honestly, I'm not mad at it. It doesn't feel cheap at all. The doors feel quality. Like, this doesn't feel like a cheap throwaway vehicle. Obviously, this is going to be hard touch, soft touch, hard touch. You don't have automatic windows, but this is not a luxury or near luxury car. This is a compact car, but I think, it doesn't feel so much like an economy car. Getting in, you do sit a little bit low, but these seats are comfortable. You might say this material is scratchy, but like, I feel supported. I feel like you could put two adults back here and be fine. Here's a look at the cockpit. And this is kind of what I'm saying. Like, this looks better than a lot of the, to me, Corolla, Civic type things in some instances. You don't have vents back here, but you have decent room. This seat is cocked back a little bit, but 3 adults back here obviously would be a crowd. This headliner is very basic, but you have grab handles here. And then when I close the door, it closes solidly. And the belt line does sit up a little bit. So that's a modern thing, and that's nice. But I don't feel like I'm sitting on the floor. But if you had problems with your knees and stuff like that, this could be an issue. You have a cup holder here. And you have this door handle right here, which is cool. It feels solid, well put together. I'm not complaining about that. You don't have mat pockets in the back of the seats, but nobody really uses those anymore. That's a thing of bygone times. Opening this door, like I said, these doors have a middle weight. This glass actually feels more solid than I thought it would. It feels thicker than the glass on my Jetta. I like that. I like the stitching here. It adds a little touch, a little bit of personality. This car does sit lower, but obviously I don't have leg problems, back problems, so I don't really notice that as much. You do have a power driver's seat. The passenger seat is not powered. This vehicle does have a 1.6 liter turbocharged engine, which I'm not mad at. It's a compact vehicle, and I actually like this layout. I do find it odd in this cockpit that you have paddles and you don't have a flat bottom steering wheel, because you have red stitching, lane keep assist. I don't know if you have radar cruise control. It doesn't appear you do, but you know, you have blind spot and lane keep, and then you have your typical buttons here. And these paddles feel good. I mean, obviously these are more for show. This vehicle doesn't have a ton of power. I'll put the specs below when I pop the hood on this thing. But you have a charge port here, USB-C. You have heated seats here. So for a compact vehicle, what I love about this is it's not an economy vehicle. I would not call this an economy vehicle. You have push button start right here. That feels good. I like how this display kind of moves over and connects here. This is kind of a driver-centric type thing. I like this border here. This is soft touch, but this is hard touch. This is hard touch. You know, it looks like you have a couple parking cameras on here, which is dope. AC controls are pretty straightforward. These don't feel cheap. So that's been one of my complaints about Kia products, not necessarily Hyundai, but you know, they share manufacturing, is that the buttonry feels cheap, like it won't last. And I've noticed that in some older 2016, 17 Kia Optimas, and it seems like either that was not a problem with the Elantra or it's been remedied. Like, these feel very solid, very straightforward. Map, nav. I love this layout here. It looks modern, but it's very, very pragmatic and very user-friendly. Hazard buttons here. I love the layout of these vents. Like, this vehicle's not trying to be something it's not. So you have a leather-wrapped steering wheel, your drive mode selector here. So, you know, you can daily this thing and have a little bit of fun driving. You have metallic kick plate right there, and pedals there. That's a nice touch. You know, it looks like you have a 6-speaker sound system here, and the screen is very, very contrasty, and so I like that. This is going to be softer touch. This is going to be, you know, a firm touch, but again, it's a compact car. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty straightforward. Again, there's going to be, you know, challenges and, you know, I don't know, risk with every engine, but I think, you know, you can see your alternators right here. Where are the plug wires at here? So maybe they're, I don't know. That is very interesting. How do you change the spark plugs on this engine? See, so that's kind of annoying, but your air box is there and your battery is there, you know, and if you were keeping this car for 5 years, I would say, you know, you should be good. Just change the oil every 5K and I think you'll be okay. This hood is heavy. That is a steel hood. That is not an aluminum hood. And again, this is an inline package. So on this one, I'm sorry, I kind of jumped from the 2022 to the 2023. We started with that one. It's an appearance package, but I love how smooth and kind of rounded with edges this vehicle's design is nice to me. The wheels are okay. You know, I'd give them probably a 6.5 out of 10. It's not bad. The cement color is growing on me, the cement gray. Again, I like these black caps. You have a standard sunroof, a black fin here, and I like this spoiler right here. So, I mean, looking in this vehicle, we'll go ahead and open, and this is an SEL, which should be like the top of the line. It is a 2022, it's a year older. The stitching is not red here, but it's a similar affair, but you don't have a power seat here. I mean, I do still feel good about this vehicle, even with the screen not connecting. I still like the layout and design here. I think in many ways, again, it looks better than Toyota's vehicles. And it looks modern. Yes, you have the piano black, but I like what they're doing here. And you have heated seats. So it looks like they stole a page out of the Jetta book where you just have heated seats on a lot of things. I mean, this is an SEL, so you have lane keep assist. You know, you have a screen here as well. This is super contrasty. And so this is pretty straightforward. The steering wheel feels apropos, a good size. And you have your typical charge port here. And, you know, you got your cup holders and cubby here, your electronic parking brake, you know, your tiny, teeny cubby here. But yeah, overall, not bad at all. I like the size of this mirror here. You do have a light up here, so no worries there. This is a pretty basic rear view mirror, but again, it's a compact vehicle. It does not feel cheap. So, you know, in this vehicle, we'll go around to the passenger side. It does not look as sporty as that one, but it's still it looks like a small, sporty, compact car. So I like that. Those seats in the other vehicle aren't premium, but these definitely feel a little bit less luxurious. So all in all, I would say if you can get this vehicle with under 30,000 miles, 3 years or newer, you'd be good to go. I definitely like the inline trim interior better. It seems to be like one level up. It's not. I like the hard back in these seats versus the leather backing in the other ones. But I would just say, like, this is a good choice for a compact vehicle. And I mean, these days you're not getting away from turbocharging. Honda and Toyota are using CVT. So, you know, at some point you're going to have a little bit of poison in the soup. So, not bad offerings from Hyundai.